Unless you've been living under a rock, then you now know about the July 12th Internet-wide Day of Action, where some of the largest companies on the internet, such as Amazon, Reddit, Netflix, Pornhub, among others, they all came together to send a message to the FCC. Leave net neutrality in place, leave the internet alone. We don't want you messing with the current net neutrality regulations, because currently net neutrality is regulated as a utility under Title II of the Communications Act of 1934, and that makes it so that way large internet service providers cannot throttle websites that don't pay them ransoms. It also stops them from censoring content of websites that they don't like. So this was really important. And this event was organized by Fight for the Future, and the ultimate goal was to raise awareness about net neutrality in hopes that people would speak out and send a message to the FCC. And we got some of the preliminary results of the protest, and I have to say it was incredibly encouraging. To see everyone speak out, I really felt a little bit optimistic about the internet for the first time in months. So on July 12th, there were nearly 3.5 million emails sent to Congress, which is just insane. Now, when it comes to comments submitted to the FCC itself, there were more than 1.7 million new comments, which is more than were submitted on the last internet-wide Day of Action. So that brings the total amount of comments that the FCC has received with respect to this issue up to nearly 7 million. Now, the most surprising to me, more than 100,000 calls were made to Congress. That's really amazing. Now, more than 80 subreddits with a combined 160 million subscribers informed readers about the attack on net neutrality. And finally, 485 YouTubers, including yours truly, with a combined subscriber base of 202 million, spoke out against the repeal of net neutrality. And there's still 35 days left to comment, so there's going to be a lot more where that came from. So to everyone that participated in the Day of Action, really take a moment and feel proud at what you did. You are fighting the fight to save the internet and save net neutrality. And you honestly, you should feel proud of what you did. And for those of you that didn't participate or couldn't participate, there's still time. Again, 35 days are left, so you can submit a complaint to the FCC, you can tweet to Ajit Pai, you can call the FCC, you can call your congressman or congresswoman. There's a lot of things that you can still do to make your voice heard, and it's really important that you do that because, as I've talked about on the show before, millions of fake comments that are being submitted by bots on behalf of the industry are trying to drown out our voices. And what we did with the Internet-wide Day of Action is we tried to overpower these bots and make our voices louder than these bots. But certainly, a really crucial component is leaving the comfort of our homes and protesting if we're able to do so. So if you can go to the FCC and protest in front of the FCC headquarters, you're doing a great service, not just for yourself, but for all of us. So we have to still do what we can. We can't just settle with the Internet-wide Day of Action being the last effort to speak out. We have to continue to make noise about net neutrality and talk about net neutrality and share videos that inform us about net neutrality. Any infographics that you can find, any memes that might convey the importance of net neutrality in a humorous way, anything you can basically do will be greatly valuable to all of us in this fight, because we need net neutrality if we want the internet to continue thriving, if we want democracy to still exist in America, because the internet really is the last beacon of democracy in this country. And if we allow internet service providers like Comcast and Verizon to throttle the bandwidth of websites that they don't like, or throttle the bandwidth and internet speeds of their competitors, that's not just bad for competition and innovation, that's bad for democracy, because they could shut down sites like the humanisreport.com and say, this guy's speaking out too much against us. He's talking about Bernie Sanders, and we don't want him to talk about Bernie Sanders, so let's throttle the bandwidth to his website and basically bring the speeds to his site to a crawl unless he pays us a ransom, which obviously I'm not going to be able to pay any ransom that they impose. So this is really crucial. We have to make sure that we protect net neutrality, and the fight isn't over. So please Make your voice heard. You can find out more at battleforthenet.com. They made it really easy for you to file a complaint and make your voice heard.
Support this podcast by joining the independent progressive media revolution today at humanistreport.com.